What happens next in Israel? Part 7. This is the map of proposed areas of conquest for ISIS, written in Arabic. There is no place for Israel to exist in this map. ISIS wants Jerusalem. The city of Damascus, Syria, is the oldest continuously inhabited city in known history. Yet the Hebrew prophet Isaiah states in chapter 17, verse 1, that Damascus is taken away from being a city and shall be a ruinous heap. How and when can this happen? Psalm 83 tells of a war between Israel and its Arab neighbors. There have been wars, but not a total destruction of Damascus. Here is a list of the nations in Psalm 83 that attacked Israel and their locations on the map below. In the 1967 war, Saudi Arabia and northern Iraq did not attack Israel. In the Psalm 83 war, every Arab nation that borders Israel will attack Israel. Here is a larger map showing the Arab neighbors in the Levant or Greater Israel. In that same day, the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, Unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. God speaks to us from the bogs of Ireland. A manuscript dated 800 to 1000 CE was recently discovered in a bog in the Irish Midlands. The manuscript was found opened to Psalm 83. Wow! The Latin text of that psalm describes how Arab and Middle Eastern powers form a last-day covenant against God and the Jewish people in order to wipe them off the face of the earth. From the Temple Mount Faithful, the psalmist asks for God to persecute them and put them to shame so that men know that thou, whose name is Jehovah, is the most high over the earth. The victory is so great that it gives Israel peace with its Arab neighbors. This peace enables Israel to divert its resources away from defense and toward agriculture, industry, and commerce. There may be Israeli security buffer zones inside the present-day Arab neighbors of Israel who have areas of their nations that are subjugated into Greater Israel or the Levant. This great peace is foretold in Ezekiel 38:11. This may be the reason Ezekiel wrote of a land of unwalled villages at rest that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls and having neither bars nor gates. That has not yet been achieved. He also wrote of the increased prosperity of a people gathered out of the nations, which have gotten cattle and goods. The peace, prosperity, and lack of concern are written of by the Hebrew prophet Ezekiel. Here we see Greater Israel, also known as the Levant, and the Israeli 10 agora coin showing Greater Israel, also known as the Levant. Here, Greater Israel, or the Levant, is strategically surrounded by the Mediterranean, Suez Canal, Red Sea, Persian Gulf, and the Euphrates River. Each one of these waters is a natural barrier. Many have said that the Jubilee cycle can't take place since the 10 northern tribes of Israel were all lost in Assyrian captivity. This is not accurate because Chronicles 9:13 shows all Israel reckoned by genealogies and carried away to Babylon. This is confirmed by the residue of Israel, Nehemiah 11:29 and Nehemiah 12:47 and Ezekiel 38:16. Therefore, the theories about the 10 lost tribes are irrelevant. The Israelis are genuine. Here we see a map of Abraham's inheritance. Sheba in the southern Arabian Peninsula and Dedan in the central Arabian Peninsula are listed before the merchants of Tarshish in Ezekiel 38:13, as they ask a coalition of nations invading Israel this question: Art thou come to take a spoil? Hast thou gathered thy company to take a prey? This indicates that they are speaking independently and are not among the Arab nations that will be subjugated in the Israeli-controlled Levant after the great Israeli victory in the Psalm 83 war. Therefore, the area below is more likely to be the future Israeli-controlled Levant after the great Israeli victory over their Arab neighbors in the Psalm 83 war. This map of Greater Israel does cover the dimensions of the area that was promised to the children of Israel. The purpose of the Jubilee was to forgive debts, free slaves, and return land to the original owners, Israel. This happened in a gradual way for Israel in 1897, 1917, 1947, and 1967, in what appeared to be overlapping Jubilee cycles. Is the cycle 1897 to 1947 for Judah, and the cycle of 1917 to 1967, is that for Kol Yisrael, all Israel? Nevertheless, in 1917, 1947, and 1967, land was gained in wars. See more in What Happens Next in Israel, Part 8. What will Russia do? This info is from a very anti-Jewish website named smoloko.com. The info does, however, lead into the topic of the Levant, which is covered in Part 8 of this 21-part series. For more information and ways that you can help us to blow the trumpet in Zion and sound an alarm, you may contact us, Hope of Israel, at Tikva Yisrael, by email, shlomo1335@gmail.com. As for Shlomo, I'm Yisrael Kai.